Deeper into respiration. Here I will be teaching you methods and techniques that you can do at home to help improve the child's respiration, the inhalation and exhalation which is required for speech. The first thing that you do before you start your speech therapy activities or your feeding activities is the sitting posture. The child has to be seated in a right posture. Can I have a volunteer, please? Okay, so we have a volunteer here. She's a physical therapist. She knows the best. Please sit. Okay, now the position that she's sitting, like I told you, she's a physical therapist. So she's already sitting in the correct position. There is a, hello, check. Yeah. So the way she's sitting is a proper 90-degree angle. Let's go from the reverse. Today everything is on the reverse because that's what we miss. You see her feet is on the floor. Both the feet are on the floor. She's not sitting like this. Can you just put it like that? Now this is the wrong posture. Don't allow the child to sit in the position like this. Wrong. If you can't see, you can stand up and see, no problem. Your feet should not be like this. Flat. This is the correct posture. So you see here there's a 90-degree angle till here, and again there's a 90-degree angle. You see how it is, right? So that seating posture is important. And again here, she's sitting straight. Can you slouch and sit like that? And push yourself a little forward. This is the wrong posture for feeding and for speech. Can you stoop forward and sit? Wrong posture for feeding and speech. Go back to the right posture. This is the correct posture. When you're feeding a child, you're working on their speech therapy skills or whatever you're doing, learning, studying time, this is the posture that they have to be seated in. Thank you. So when you're seated like that, your lungs are going to be in place. That's why you need to be seated like that. But if you're going to slouch forward like this and you're just going to fall off like that, your lungs are also going to be like that. And you're not going to have sufficient inhalation and exhalation happening, which you need for speech. And always ensure that they are positioned midline. When she sat down, you saw her legs are together, her hands are together, and she's sitting erect. But what if my legs are apart, my hands are out like that? What you see on the body is what you see inside the mouth. Because it is all connected. They all function individually and differently, but they function together. They are together within the same frame. The next one, when we work on respiration, we'll also be working on abdomen. Today I was talking to little Manasvi's mom to work on the abdomen. So you need a lot of physical activity to improve abdomen strength. And most of our children with hypotonia, if you see, they'll have a paunch. So that has to be worked on. And you could do a lot of blowing exercises, running, jogging, walking, all these that give them proper breath support, which will improve their breathing patterns, which will improve their abdominal muscles and sufficient breathing. With that low tone and that kind of a little paunch that they have, of course the breathing is also going to be affected because the muscles that are supporting breathing is all hypotonic. So those muscles have to be strengthened. So you can always get back to your physiotherapist or your speech therapist or your occupational therapist, and they will know when to work on that. Because just because I say, the next day your therapist cannot work on that, because they know, they have their hierarchy on which they are working. So I don't want to step into that. So they know when is the right time for them to work on it, when is the child ready for that. Like in speech, I know when the child is ready for speech clarity. I know when the child is ready for two-word utterances. Until then, you have to wait. Take their advice on that. But in terms of speech, if you come to me, I will be working on the blowing and those exercises because that is essential here. And usually what I do in my sessions is I communicate with the other therapists. So I tell them, see, this is what I need for this, this and this. What is your opinion on it? I'm going to work on this, this and this. What is your take on it? So try to get your therapist to communicate, because when they communicate, everything is sorted out. But sometimes if it becomes the parent who's communicating, it can get a little confusing. So get your therapist to communicate directly.